Hi, I'm Marty Bailey. I'm the president of manufacturing here at U.S. Standard Apparel in Vernon, California. Been here for 3.5 years, but I've been in the industry for over 42 years and worked with a number of major companies as well. I came to U.S. Standard on a one-week mission to help look at productivity back in 2022. That 1 week has turned into 3.5 years at this point. Proud to be here. I think we've done a lot of great things. I think we're growing. We built our productivity from a few thousand pieces a week to a few thousand pieces a day at this point. And we've had some of our highest productivity months more recently in the last 2 months, well over 100,000 pieces a month, which is good for what we do. And what we do is basic t-shirts, basic fleece, basic hoodies, basic pants. One thing we understand here is, as you see behind me, we have a number of professional sewing operators making our product. You'll never hear me address these folks any differently than as a professional. They're as professional as anyone out there at what they do. And we embrace that, we celebrate that, and we do everything we can possible to help our folks be as successful as they possibly can. Because we understand that their success is the foundation for the company's success. We manufacture in 2 different ways. All of our t-shirts, we manufacture it in team form like you see behind me. And a team is designed to start and finish product in the same moment. We have an operator for each specific operation. The team's concept is all based on service, and it's all based on not how fast you sew, but how soon you sew. So we really focus on the transition of the product from one operation to the next. And our basic t-shirt, in less than 2 minutes, we can see a finished product. When I say we see a finished product, we examine the product right on the spot, and as we continue to have consistency in our manufacturing need, means again success for the operators and success for the company. We work hard not only to invest in our people, but to invest in automation, automation that works. And there's a lot of automation out there, but money is valuable, and we want to spend our money in the most valuable place that we can, and that we can get the best return. Behind me is the automatic hem bottom tandem. The one thing about automation is, many cases, it's only equal to, or maybe not even as fast as a strong professional sewing operator, in this case as in a professional hem bottom. When we're comparing that, the automation, which gives us great quality, as does our professional hem bottoms or manual hem bottoms, one real advantage that it does provide us is, I think the buzzword is de-skilling. Looking at automation not as a replacement, but as an alternative to the professional operators. The other form of sewing that we use is the INA handling system from Tukatech, and we've employed this now for about 3 years, something I've been very familiar with for a number of years. We utilize the INA system for hoods, we do heavy fleece, we do pants, and it's a huge benefit for that, especially moving product in a team form. A little bit of fleece looks like a lot on a horizontal table, but in the INA system, because of the hangers and because everything is vertical, then the bulkiness of a fleece product is much less of an issue. It's not a sewing system, it's a handling system. The transition from one operator to another is critical to the flow of the product, and understanding when, where, and how the next operator needs that product to minimize their handling time. Same way here, it's not necessarily a handoff, but how we put it on the hanger, that when it arrives to that operator, that it's in a position to find the point and be able to start sewing as quickly as possible is a major part of how successful the operators will be with that. The system is not only a handling system, it's a data center. I mean, there's so much information that, because of the RFID chips that are in each of the hangers are tracked specifically. We can track production, we can track quality, we see even time and attendance if we choose to use it that way. So tremendous amount of data that I think is beneficial to the company. So we're in what we call the war room at this point. This is our cutting office, and this is Ronnie, and this is Hector. Say hi, Hector.
Hi.
Ronnie and Hector, they manage all of our cutting operations, but they're both master pattern makers. So we're very fortunate to have them both here because we do a lot of pattern development, not only internally, but for our private label customers as well. Everything begins here from the standpoint of the pattern development into markers, and as we'll talk about later, how those markers even get to our spreaders and our cutters. Very important room, very important people. So we're in our product development department. That's a huge advantage that we have, is that all of our development and our manufacturing is in the same building. So we're able to communicate with each other. One of the things we want to do is that when we're developing product, that it's product that can actually be manufactured and be manufactured efficiently and be manufactured with good quality. And manufacturing and our development people are constantly in communication, not only about the design, but the manufacturability of a program that you're going to manufacture in the United States, and you're going to be successful and efficient. This department too is also fed and supported by Tukatech, by our cutting office, by our war room, because we do utilize a TUKA laser cutter. We have the second generation of the TUKA laser, which also comes with a doffing table and development for our pattern. The other nice feature about this laser cutter is it actually employs two heads. So if you are doing small production or continuous production, the multiple heads on the laser literally cut the cut time in half. So we're in our cutting room. Once the cut tickets are made and the fabric is allocated, it's going to go to the cutting office. We're going to create the markers. We're going to send the markers to our TUKA spreaders. They're very automated. All of the information is inside of the spreader, and it will literally spread with the rider or without. Also have features that it's relaxing the fabric as it spreads. It's really fluffing the fabric to take away the need, in most cases, of having to let fabric set or block the fabric before cutting. We utilize that feature a lot, but we will block in some cases where we use fabrics that would require that regardless. The information being set into the spreader with the marker specifically inside of the spreader, it knows to the millimeter where it's set on that spread process and where it's at on the table. Of course, we've invested in the air tables. We can spread 400 pounds of fabric on the back end of the table, turn the air on, and easily move it to the front of the table towards the cutter. And again, all of these investments it's about efficiency, it's about accuracy, it's about safety. It's a lot of investment to make sure that our customers are getting the best product possible through as safe of means as possible, which is very important to us. So we're at the cutter at this point, our TUKA cutter that we've been utilizing now for a better part of 2.5 years since installed, and really happy with it. Literally cut everything. I cut open width, I cut fleece, I cut jersey, I cut rib. And I think I'm one of the few that actually cuts our tubular t-shirts with the auto cutter as well. I have a great relationship with Tukatech and have for a couple of decades now.